Many years ago, there were two farmers, Paul and David, and they lived on the edge of a beautiful old forest in Vermont, not far away from each other. One morning they woke up and found out that many of the trees in the forest near the river had been cut down. So Paul was very upset and immediately went to David's house to express how angry he was about what just happened. "I can't believe this," he cried out. "Who could have done such a terrible thing?" "I had no idea," David responded. "Well, I'm going to let everyone know about this disaster. Are you coming with me?" Paul asked David. "No thanks," David responded back to Paul. Then Paul asked, "Are you going to do something about it?" "Oh yes, I will," replied David. Paul immediately went into the local village where he told everyone he met about what happened in the forest. Can you believe it? Dozens of trees just cut down and taken away overnight. It is ridiculous. Of course this is ridiculous. Most people in the village agree with Paul and show sympathy to the farmer. But do you know what is the worst thing about this? Paul said, David won't do anything about it. If he was angry as me, he would be here with me telling everyone no as well. So Paul went back home and visited his neighbor again. He found David in his house and said to him, "David, I'm going to write a letter to the mayor and to the local newspaper to complain about the trees being cut down. Are you going to help me?" "No thanks," David replied. Immediately Paul got very irritated with David and asked, "Aren't you going to do something?" "Yes, I will," David answered back. So Paul left very upset to write his letter to the mayor and get in contact with the local newspaper. The next morning, Paul went back to the neighbor's house, but David wasn't there. Paul looked around the property and eventually found David in the area where the trees had been cut down. "David, what are you doing?" "There are still people who haven't heard about the trees being cut down." "I'm planting new trees," replied David. "Why?" Paul asked, very confused. "Because complaining won't bring them back." So this is my message with this story. Sometimes our life doesn't always go as we plan. Bad things happen to everyone, sometimes even terrible tragedies. As a society, we have become very good at complaining about injustices that we see when our expectations aren't met. We are very quick to text someone, update our Facebook status, and express our complaints in all social media. But real changes doesn't happen when we complain. It happens through meaningful actions. It happened through Rosa Parks refusing to give up her seat on a bus in the 1950s. It happens through Wangari Maathai planting millions of trees in Kenya. It happens when we focus less on the problem and more on the solution. It happens when we change the questions we ask ourselves when things go wrong. Who can I tell? To what I am going to do about it. Just think for a moment before you decide to complain about something. If you are not part of the problem, maybe you can be part of the solution. When you encounter yourself with a problem or a situation, use the 90-10 rule. Focus your attention in 10% of the problem and 90% in the solution. If you want to know more about the 90-10 rule, please watch my next video and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell for notifications. Until I see you next time, make it a great life.